changing how others treat you by changing how you treat yourself. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hashtag Beautify. You know it's your girl Rayshone Oliver here, and what I just love to do is be helpful and just tell the story of people who have one, especially when I know that they're going to change someone's life. So today I am speaking with Miss Michelle. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, you know I'm well.
Life is good.
Yes,
That's all I can say.
Right.
Live, love, and life.
Okay, then, and I love that because something people don't know is why you're here today. Let's talk about that. Let's tell us, why did I ask you to come on the show with me today?
I'm hoping to inspire other women that have been diagnosed. I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, invasive lobular breast cancer. So when I found out in June that I got diagnosed with it, it was very overwhelming and very shocking to me.
Wow.
Because at first I didn't think it was breast cancer.
So this June?
Yes, this past June.
Wow. So did you find the mass, or did the doctor find the mass? Were you going for like the gyno and they're like, hey, something's
You
there?
know what? I actually found the lump a year ago. And this is something good for your viewers to know and understand. I did get a mammogram. They did check it out, and they told me that it was either fibrosis or a lymph node. So my mother ended up getting sick with bile duct cancer, and my sisters and I ended up taking care of her, and I ignored the growth because in the back of my mind, they were telling me everything was fine.
It was nothing.
It was nothing.
Right.
So then I went back to my regular doctor. Doctor said, you better get this checked out. It doesn't seem quite normal.
Right.
So I went to Joni Abdul here in Youngstown, and they came back with a diagnosis. I was coming back from an account driving, and I get the call, and they say, you have breast cancer.
Wait a minute. That's what they said when it...
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
that's traumatic.
Yeah. So they call and give you the diagnosis.
And they just call and just
she
like
said,
that.
I just want to let you know that your results came back, and I wanted to know.
Right.
So I was fine with this. I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't expecting that diagnosis, and I didn't believe them. I was actually in denial. I said, you know what? I'm going to get a second opinion. I didn't know at that time that my family had breast cancer.
Wow.
Especially my dad's side. So I went to Cleveland Clinic. Got a second opinion, and that's when they came back and they told me it was invasive lobular. So for your viewers that are watching, invasive lobular is not detected on a standard mammogram.
Wow.
You either have to have an ultrasound or 3D imaging. Why we're doing standard mammograms, we should probably, across the board, if it's not inclusive, we should probably be doing 3D imaging, 3D mammograms, ultrasound. So if you notice a lump and you want a second opinion, please, you own your own health and be an advocate for yourself and push these doctors to do these other imaging, because that's the way you can find out especially for invasive lobular carcinoma.
Wow, that just gives me goosebumps. Oh my goodness, it gives me goosebumps because I am cystic. I have cystic breast, and so I always have something there,
So they feel like lumps.
Yeah, they feel like lumps. But I felt something, and he's like, it's just your bone. And I'm like, he asked if I lost a lot of weight, and I'm like, 10 pounds. But so I understand that concept of do not let the doctor own your body. That is very, very, very valuable right there.
Absolutely.
Owning your body, because they will tell you over and over again that nothing is wrong. And that is so scary.
It's kind of disheartening because they ended up diagnosing me with stage 3, had a full mastectomy on the left side, and they removed 27 lymph nodes, and 21 were cancerous under my armpit. So with that, I think to myself, wow, a year ago I could have been maybe stage 1. I could have maybe had a lumpectomy as opposed to a full mastectomy. And I'm not saying let's look back in history, because of facts I can't change the past. But what I can do is advocate for the future and let other women know, and men, that when you find something that's abnormal, push for other imaging. We know that standard mammograms do miss these type of detections, so push for other 3D or ultrasound imaging.
Did it feel different?
You know what? I'm telling you, it's about the size of my fingernail.
Okay.
Now, then it started to grow. So it was on the side of my breast towards my armpit. So I thought maybe lymphoma cancer or lymphatic cancer, because that's what runs in our family. My dad has that. When I did call my aunt to tell her that I had breast cancer, I asked her what was my history, because I didn't know my breast cancer history. Not on my mom's side. Most of the times it is on your mom's side. It was actually on my dad's side. We had 4 to 5 women on our dad's side that had breast cancer.
Wow.
But good thing, I did not carry what's called the BRCA gene. To your viewers that don't know what that is, it's a gene that they can test to see if you carry it. One, it'll help in understanding your treatments, but it'll also help for my nieces and nephews to understand I carried it. And that came back negative. So I was able to preserve my right breast, and I didn't have to get a mastectomy. And I chose not to because I came back negative.
So the education that you have so much knowledge on this. Is this something that you knew before? Did you just have all this, or did you just educate yourself?
I educated myself, and that's a great question, Rayshone. I think a lot of people should understand that you should educate yourself so that you understand whatever your disease process is, if it be cancer or diabetes or heart disease, you have to own it and you have to understand it, and then you have to accept it.
Yes.
And it took me a while because in the beginning I went through this phase. Like I said, I was in denial. Then I was angry. Because I said, I take such good care of myself. I work out, I'm a dietitian, I know how to eat healthy, and how did I get this? But it does not discriminate. And that's the thing we've got to keep in the back of our minds. We have this vision of that cancer has a certain prototype. It does not matter. And what you have to do is try to take the best care of yourself so that as I go through this treatment process, I'm going to have a better outcome because I do take care of myself.
And you do. Education is the key to everything. When I give my speeches, my motivational speeches, it's all about incorporating learning, becoming, and increasing. You have to learn something, especially when you feel weak in that situation.
Absolutely.
Tell me about, did you have any fear? Because you didn't mention fear.
Yeah. And actually now I'm kind of at that point where I've gotten through the chemo. Yeah, you have fear. You know, when they tell you about all of the treatment processes you're going to go through, from surgery to chemo to radiation, you see all these doctors, you hear everything. Fear is actually one of those things that you go through. And when I met with the radiologist in particular, that really feared me because the fact is he said he had to move my heart in order to radiate. And that, as soon as you hear that, you're thinking, because they have to protect your heart, because radiation can destroy and hurt your heart.
So those are things that people need to be prepared for. And I guess physicians and medical faculty, they're human, but sometimes, I don't know the expression. Did you feel like they expressed enough sensitivity when it came to what you were experiencing?
Yeah, I have to say my main oncologist, absolutely. I think the radiologist, because it was my last appointment of the very long day, I kind of felt a disconnect, and I kind of felt like he was talking over my head as opposed to explaining things to me in layman's terms. And sometimes as doctors, I think they get to that point, you know, when he said you have to move your heart, you have to do this. It was very overwhelming, you know, and for a woman going through this, you know, and your first step is to have this surgery, and the surgery is major. It was 8 hours in surgery, plus a lymph node transfer they had to do to preserve your arm. And that's another thing for your viewers to know. If you do have it in your lymph nodes, there is a procedure that only the Cleveland Clinic will do, and it's called a lymph node transfer that helps preserve your arm for lipidemia, because you could get it where it swells up and it's debilitating.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and then you talk about fear.
And you said they only do that at Cleveland Clinic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joni Abdul, that's why I didn't have my surgery done here in Youngstown, Joni Abdul. But the center at Joni Abdul has a fantastic network of doctors. I actually get my chemo here.
Okay.
And I also am going to get my radiation here as well, so I don't have to go back and forth.
Wonderful.
But fear, I mean, we talk about, you know, the loss of your hair, and obviously I have.
I was just, you know, there's a lot, there's so much to talk about.
Yes.
So I guess I must ask, although I know the answer, did you lose your hair?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And that experience, not so much shaving the head was overwhelming to me, but I can tell you, for your viewers, they tell you day 10 to 13 you lose your hair, and they were right on with me. You know, when it came day, it was probably about 11 or 12, I was handfuls, just started to come out. So I called my girlfriend and I said, I'm ready to get my head shaved. And she said, no problem, let's do it the next day. So I thought I'd like to wash my hair one more time. And these women, your viewers, will tell you, you like that sensation of feeling your hair one more time. So I got in the shower to wash my hair, and it just started to fall out and fall out. And you want to talk about fear and just an overwhelming, and I just cried in the shower and just cried. I just was so, that part there was very hard for me, not shaving my head. Then the next day I had 4 or 5 girlfriends come with me to the salon, and my girlfriend shaved my head. And I'm telling you, that did not bother me as much as it did was in the shower.
Well, the shower,
I felt a strength and a
Yes.
power after that next day. And
because you made a choice.
yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think because at that point I said to myself, I know the choice here, I have to do this.
Yes.
You know, not that hair, you know, women are always like, you know, oh, hair doesn't define anything, but it is an emotional step that you go through the
Hair,
process with cancer.
I don't know what people say about hair, but hair to me is a part of my outfit.
Mhm.
And I changed my hair. I'm sorry, I'm crying, but I changed my hair like I changed my purse.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I am now.
Yeah.
And one nice thing is, let me tell you, viewers, is now that I've been able to have these wigs, I've been able to make the decision. I have gone out with my hair bald.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going out with my hair on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going out with a hat on. It's kind of fun because I get to change my look.
Right.
But when they did shave my hair, the first person I thought of was Demi Moore.
Oh,
And
yes.
in my Facebook
in that movie,
post, you'll
yes.
see me with my muscles and I'm posing.
You get
That's
it, girl.
the first thing I thought. It was
Yeah.
Demi Moore, and I
Uh-huh.
thought, I'm a strong woman. I
And
got
you
this.
sure are. Oh, man.
But if you can empower other women that are going through it, I
Mhm.
actually ran into a young girl, probably about 33, and a 15-year-old, and I met them at the Cleveland Clinic, and they were
Okay.
devastated about losing their hair. So I told them,
Mm-hmm.
when I shave my head, I'm going to put my face on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I make myself very vulnerable
Right.
so that you can see the confidence that I was okay with this. And they
Mhm.
called me, the 15-year-old did, and her mother did, and said, you know, she was just so empowered when she seen how confident you were, that you
Mhm.
came out and you were able to put your face on Facebook without any hair, that it made them feel better about shaving their head. So that to me is just a sense of feeling of like, oh my gosh,
it's
I
amazing
empowered.
to
And,
me.
you know, one girl told me you own it
Mhm.
and you empower it and you'll help someone else.
Mm-hmm. And you have.
Yeah.
You have. You inspire me. Another
Thanks.
question I wanted to ask is, what did you regularly check before? Because I am someone who is like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna check my breast, but then it's like, oh, they're sore. Oh, I forgot my period's this week. I'm not supposed to check the week before or the week after or during. So did you do that regularly?
You know what? I did and didn't.
Mhm.
I kind of was like hit or miss. But what I can tell most women is when you're in the shower, make it a standard practice.
Mhm.
Some of the problems is when I have what's considered very dense breast tissue, and I had to laugh because I'm not a big busted girl.
Okay.
So when they said dense, I thought they meant big. They said, no, you have very dense tissue, which means it's going to be hard to sometimes feel the lump.
Okay.
And that's where, you know, your regular checkups going in for your, you know, 3D mammograms and your ultrasound need to be done. But unfortunately, they always did regular mammograms with me, so it wouldn't have even detected it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think it's usually age 40 they say start it. But there's some young women that even get it that are 23
Mm-hmm.
and younger. So, I mean, it isn't just, and I'm 47. And the largest age bracket is at 60 and above.
Okay.
You see the breast cancer, but we're starting to see it 35 and up to,
Right.
to 40 and 50.
Yes,
So
yes.
every woman should just do a breast check when you're in the shower.
Right.
Something doesn't feel right, you go to your doctor, you get it checked out.
It's
Be
better to
proactive.
be safe. Yes, because the thing about it is the difference. Look at the difference from your 1 year feeling that to the next year. That was 1 year. You know?
And it was growing. I mean, there was no doubt. But when my mom got sick, I was taking care of her, and I kept in the back of my mind that the doctor said it's fibrosis, it's a lymph node. So I wasn't even thinking breast cancer. Breast cancer didn't even cross my mind because
ignore
again, I didn't know my
everything.
history.
Right. I ignore everything though. I'm bad at that. I'm gonna just say that. Yeah, I'm gonna get better at it.
Yeah, and that's good, and that's what I'm hoping that I can do by doing things like these videos for your viewers,
Yes.
is that it empowers them to say, hey, I need to take care of my health. If I
Yes.
notice something that's not right, this lump isn't feeling right, I need to go get it checked out.
One thing that I found very valuable when you were speaking is that, like you said, I take care of myself. I'm strong. But it's no discrimination.
Absolutely.
It's not man. It's not woman. It's not healthy. It's not unhealthy. And that means something. You know, we think if we're running every day, and because I'm physically fit and I work out and I try to eat to live, but that is one of the things that, like you said, if there's no discrimination. So getting checked is something that's important just because we're human.
But what I can tell you is by taking care of yourself, I've been able, I'm going to have, on Monday will be treatment number 6, and I have 2 more left. And I'm telling you, I have gone through the treatments very well.
Wonderful.
I've been able to work out, not to the extent where I did before. I'm able to go back to work.
Right.
And one of the things I can tell you is I kept a positive spirit.
That positive mindset.
It is.
You know, that is something, you know me, our girl, positive mindset is one of the topics of every thing, if you believe, you can always get, how many times do you get better results when you just feel better about it?
Yeah.
When you're frustrated or if you're angry, none of that stuff works for you. Things tend to go wronger. You know, you don't get the same results. So it's just been
keep
proven.
a good network of friends around you and positive family members around you, and the ones that you feel aren't helping the situation, you just need to keep them at an arm's length.
Right.
And the ones that you feel are helping you build up and keeping you positive, keep them around you. And take care, you know, and you'll have bad days. You know, I'm not on here telling you that every day is good for me.
Right.
I have good and bad days. I just don't stay in those bad days.
Right.
I just try to keep myself back up. And I say to myself, here's another day, let's get through it, I got this. It's one of my terms, I got this. I always
got
say
this,
that.
girl. Yeah. Oh, goodness. You are so beautiful. I just love it. Okay, so yeah, this is a question here. So, I know that they tell you about a lot of things. They try to give you all this information. But what was your, like, the unexpected thing? Like you said, they gave you 10 days of 10 to 13 and they were right on.
Yeah.
But what was unexpected?
One of the things that was very unexpected for me was my lymph nodes. When they first seen them, and that's where I always tell breast cancer patients that are newly diagnosed, please keep an open frame of mind, because they don't know everything until the surgery is done, as far as the extent of it. When I first went, they thought maybe 1 or 2 lymph nodes, maybe a Cleveland clinic when I went there, they did 9 or 10, and they actually removed 27, 21 were cancerous. So for me, when they finally got done with the surgery and told me that, I knew my treatment plan had to be aggressive. I do, I mean, when I met with the radiologist, I have to do 6 weeks of radiation every single day, Monday through Friday. And that was a shock. I thought I really didn't want, I mean, who wants to do radiation? But I thought I just didn't really want to do this much. It was all about holistic and, you know, following this medical nutrition therapy approach. And now I know, because of being stage 3 and the lymph nodes, because it metastasized to the lymph nodes, I'm going to have to do this treatment plan.
And you educated yourself, though. You know, I mean, we circle right back around to that, is that you develop the confidence in your situation, because how unempowering is it to not know anything about this, something that's invading in your body. And now that you've educated, like, really, those muscles, it started with your mind. You know, and you gave some more wrinkles in your brain. The what is it? The Syri and the guy.
Yes, I know what you're talking exactly.
Okay, so we're coming to an end. We really got a lot of information, but what I want you to do, for me and the audience, if you can, describe your best outcome. Just your best, the best possible outcome, and it's going to end in your vacation spot. Let's
Well, you know, my best possible outcome is to get through this radiation, keep a positive mindset around with family, friends, my husband, and all my support network. And then next year, this same time, you know, I told my husband, I said, we're going to go somewhere, and just vacation, have drinks, and say, oh my gosh, I got through this. And I made it, and I survived this. And I'm the same person that I was then, and that I am now. And that smiley face, that sense of humor, that strength that I've always had is always here. And I want that to continue, and I want to continue to support and advocate for breast cancer, so that I can help other women that are newly diagnosed and maybe be a mentor for them.
My wish for your strength is that it just grows. Yes, it just has to grow. Oh, that's so wonderful. Where are you going? You go.
I don't know yet. Because I'm thinking Hawaii, but
yes, girl, I am a survivor. You have to own that.
Oh my God.
Yes. Okay, so I have a little game.
Okay.
All right. You have to answer the questions fast.
Okay.
And they're just quick. It's just you just pick one. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, dress up or dress down?
Dress up.
Music or no music?
Music.
Pepsi or Coke?
Pepsi.
Sunny day or rainy day?
Oh, sunny day.
Cold or hot?
Hot.
Day or night?
Night.
Okay. Sedan or coupe?
Sedan.
High heels or sneakers?
High heels.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
And vegetables or candy?
Oh, I'm a dietitian. I got vegetables. If I said candy, the viewers may say, oh my gosh.
Right. Like, how are you a dietitian and you're eating candy?
Exactly.
You're like, no, I was talking about the Laffy Taffy. Shake that Laffy Taffy.
I love it. Even though my last name is Apple.
Right.
People get a good kick out of that.
Dietitian and Apple.
Wow.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. What we want here is we both want to empower women in every single way, and men also. And if you are diagnosed with cancer, remember, this is a learning process. Learn, be proactive. Michelle was proactive. It helped her get through this. She learned, and that's how she's able to sit here with me today with strength and smile, and so beautiful. Girl, you go, girl.
Thank you. Like a high five or something.
Right. Damn. I love it.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to
Have a
laugh,
good
guys.
night. Bye,
All right,
viewers.
bye-bye.